Aladdin, that marvelous mix of magic, music, and emotion. With such vibrant characters, it's no surprise that the movie is still considered a classic. It's hard to forget Jasmine, Aladdin, Jafar, or the bumbling Sultan, and it's near impossible to forget the genie, with his rapid-fire wisecracks, Abu, the kleptomaniacal monkey, and the overly dramatic flying carpet. However, there is someone we do forget, Jafar's sidekick, Iago. While other characters play integral roles, the directors could have easily replaced Iago with anonymous characters. If anything, having Jafar work with hired thugs would have made him much more menacing. Therefore, we have to ask ourselves, was including Iago the right decision? While other Disney villains do have sidekicks, Ursula has her eels, Gaston has LeFou, Maleficent has her raven, Iago is different because he is a parrot. He is not inherently scary. In fact, his non-threatening animation contrasts starkly with Jafar's tall, dark figure and calm, brooding malevolence. Iago decreases Jafar's effectiveness as a villain. It's much harder to take Jafar seriously when he's got an obnoxious, overweight parrot perched on his shoulder. But perhaps this is why Disney included Iago. After all, their audience is comprised of children. Iago lightens the story with his antics. Voiced by the comedian Gilbert Gottfried, Iago works to provide comic relief. However, when I watched the movie, I was not amused by Iago. He is overshadowed by the genie, and his efforts simply fall flat. If Disney included Iago solely for comedy, then they made a mistake. However, I don't think Iago is a mistake. First of all, through Iago, Disney is able to expand upon the theme of freedom and power which permeates the entirety of Aladdin. Iago forces himself to put up with the Sultan's good-natured yet ignorant and irritating.
Oh, have a cracker, pretty Polly. Pretty Polly.
However, he hates it. Iago lets the anger and bitterness fester inside him. He dreams of taking revenge on the Sultan by force-feeding the man crackers in a demented parody of what he did to him. Disney teaches children that taking away the freedom of others is evil. Iago derives pleasure in tormenting others. Secondly, Disney uses Iago to teach children about the archetype of a weak villain, and that a life of evil, even if the perpetrator isn't particularly competent, doesn't pay. Similar to LeFou and Gaston in Beauty and the Beast, Iago acts as a slavishly devoted sidekick to Jafar. Both Iago and LeFou spend the entire movie sucking up to their masters.
There's no man in town as admired as you. You're everyone's favorite guy. Everyone's awed and inspired.
Yes, almighty evil one.
Both Iago and LeFou share a very similar tone, role, and characterization. Disney uses Iago and LeFou as examples to prove brown-nosing gets one nowhere. Both characters flatter the villain incessantly and are nevertheless treated as trash. Finally, Iago is also important because he speaks. He is the only sidekick who does, and he is noisy and opinionated. In this manner, he gives voice to Jafar's inner self. Jafar is arguably one of Disney's most distant villains, and Iago allows viewers to glimpse the man underneath the cold and calculating exterior. He makes the perfect sidekick for Jafar because he provides contrast. Iago represents his rash, impulsive side. Observe.
I can't take it anymore. If I gotta choke down on one more of those moldy, disgusting crackers. Bam! Whack!
Vile betrayer.
That Sultan, vile betrayer to you.
Oh, yeah?
Now look at them, cheering that little pipsqueak.
Let them cheer.
Bow to me.
We will never bow to you.
Why am I not surprised?
If you won't bow before...
As you can see, Iago adds much to Aladdin. Although originally he appears to detract from Jafar's effectiveness as a villain, it becomes clear that, rather, the opposite is true. Iago functions as a foil, and by broadcasting Jafar's emotions to the audience, he actually supports Jafar's effectiveness as a villain. Furthermore, Iago furthers the moral lesson of Aladdin. He teaches children about the archetype of a weak villain, and he emphasizes the differences in good and evil use of power and freedom. Therefore, I believe Disney made the correct decision in including Iago.